Let's go. Sit down. Oh, there we go. Hello. And welcome to Oh Stitch Happens. My name is Levi. I can be found on Instagram as wtfknittingpodcast. I live in Central Ohio with my partner and our two dogs. Little Winston and Finland are actually very active today. Here's Finny. Oh, my Finland Grace. This is Finland, and I love her. And this, you just saw Winston popping up as my intro is happening. Anyways, we live in Central Ohio with my partner. Us two, live in Central Ohio with my partner. I'm a registered nurse that works in fraud, waste, and abuse for Medicare Advantage programs. Welcome. I have made this video now 3 times. I am using the reverse side of my camera. Oh my gosh, okay, so this photo here is literally my favorite photo of my partner and I. So cute, I just love, this is actually probably 100% my favorite photo, and it's probably got an enormous amount of glare. And I'm watching it on my TV, but it's in reverse. But it's so cute, I love it. Let's talk about last week's video. I kept saying, oh, I'll put a picture here. Apple was so busy last week trying to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America and changing McKinley or Denali to McKinley. They updated and then they forgot to update the video editing software on my phone. So every time I would add a picture, it would be delayed for 20 seconds and then all of a sudden it would be like this really like sped up version of me, and then I'd be back on track. So I took off all the pictures. I know there were like 1 or 2 that actually worked, and I'm not sure why it worked towards the end, but not at the beginning. So that's why there were no pictures last week. Well, when I first started this, I did this last Friday, like 2 Fridays ago, and I turned the phone somehow on to cinematic, and it was trying to catch all the photos. Like I'd put up the project and it was trying to catch all of the photos in the background, so it wasn't editing correctly. And then I tried to do it on Tuesday or Wednesday this week, and I did it in the kitchen, which is my fireplace is literally right here, the one I sit in front of, but on the opposite side is the kitchen, and it was light, and then it got dark, and the camera was just so dark, and I'm not really sure what's going on with, I mean, I know, okay, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but when my younger sister, her family, my mom, and my partner, and I went on a carnival cruise, a 5-day carnival cruise to the Bahamas. We went to their private island, and I accidentally, we were all in the ocean, and my 2 nephews were snorkeling, and they found out, oh, there's a phone in the bottom there's something black at the bottom of the ocean, so they were trying to figure out what it was, and then the oldest one got it and brought it up, and they're like, oh, someone's iPhone, and they clicked it, and it was mine. It was my brand new iPhone that I just bought 5 months before. So I don't know if the camera awkwardness and like bizarreness of this is happening is from the ocean. I don't know. I've just had a hell of a time doing all this. So this week's video's delayed by 2 weeks now. Yeah, because it's supposed to be last Friday, and then this past Friday I was busy. You know how it works. Anyway, so we're moving on. So let's get into the stitching. I wanted to talk to you about some interesting things. So February stats, I did 19,310 stitches. The project that got the most, I should have done this, that got the most was Cardinal Rules, 5,090 stitches. I don't know about that. That sounds skewed. And it looks like we have a tie. For the least amount of stitches was 103. And Heaven and Nature Sing by Kathy Barrick, which I'll show you here. And so that was really exciting. I had 3 projects that were over 1,000. So Pub, Unicorn, Peacock, Unicorn, and a Badger, Christmas Rose, and Matter in Hand. And I got Matter in Hand caught up for this month. So that's really exciting as well. This month so far, I've done 5,373. And sorry, Finland is like in her dominant error. And she is so tiny compared to Winston, but she is not putting up with any of his nonsense. So she's over there attacking him as we speak. So you're going to hear a little bit of dog noise. But again, we're always here for fun things. So my first project here is Sue Lentz. And it is on 46 count. It's a project that's 1/1 on 27 count. I decided to do 2/1 on 46 count. And it isn't all the called for. This is an anchor, 8 weight. This is an anchor in the same color and they're floss. This one is in the Kismet colorway. So currently I'm just working on getting all this stuff done. And then I started the center part that's the 1/1 here, or sorry, 1/2. And then I did this. This here is so cool. This line here, you have little X's. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to try to get as close as I can for it. There we go. But it has little X's on that whole row. They're like little crosses on top of the cross. So it's so neat. Oh, I just adore this project. And I've really been working on it. Every night I go to bed. Are you a bed stitcher? That's the question. The question of the week is, or maybe 4 weeks, I don't know, because it's been 3. Okay, now some people go to bed to stitch. Some people go to bed to like watch TV. Some people go to bed to, I don't know what to do, but to sleep. But anyways, do you go to bed to actually do cross stitching? Probably at 11 or 11:30, and then I would stitch in bed until I fell asleep. And most of the time, I didn't get any stitches done because I'd be in there like, oh, and then I wake up, it'd be half an hour later, and then, anyway, doesn't matter. All right, so she currently, so last month, Tree of Hearts got 560 stitches, and then this month so far has got 272 stitches. Peacock, unicorn, and a badger. I'm going to remember this after videoing this 308 times. But I need to remove this, the 936 from the packet here. So this is on 40 count, cream linen. It's not Zwag because it doesn't have the orange. So I'm assuming it's probably like Winchell. Kind of feels like Winchell. I'm not sure. And I'm doing all the green. I'm doing 936 currently. 934 is my favorite DMC colorway. I think I've said that before. I'm not sure, but so I'm just working my way down, and I'm at the bottom. I'm right near the lake, or like the little river or whatever's below it. So I'm right at the bottom, and now I'm going to come up and work my way down again in the green. 936 forever. So in February, I did 1,044 stitches. And in March, I've done 158. So in Heaven and Nature Sings, again, I've only done 103 stitches. I haven't picked it up this month, but I will. This is on 36 count Duxbury by Fox and Rabbit. This is in Heaven and Nature Sings. 2/2, and it is by Kathy Barrick. And it is in a custom colorway. I'm doing it in all of the, I did it in the limited edition colorways that Sampler Threads has done. So yeah, so the next project is Ann Thomas, 1854 by Hats. Last month I did 583 stitches. This month so far I've done 478 stitches. And I've actually worked on this morning. And I've done a lot. I've done quite a bit on this today. This is in 32 count, dyed by me, more like a 34 or 35 because I boiled it and then washed it in hot water in the, I was gonna say in the ocean, in my washer. And I'm using 1/2 on 1/2 or 1/1 in DMC, in the DMC conversion that they did. I've worked a lot, like right here. I've also completely finished the pigeon. I'm working on that butterfly, and I'm working right here. And this here is complete. This is in the middle of the project. So it's really exciting that I'm getting some stuff done. Next one I'm working on is Cathedral Wood Goddess. It got 153 stitches at the end of February and has not been worked on in March. This is my Mira Monday project. So this one here is the third one. It'll be the, the fourth one. It'll be the last Mira May. I kept saying Mira May on my last video. It's not Mira May, it's Mira Monday. and it is on 32 count Jobelin by Winchell, and this is the Queen's Anne lace colorway by them. And I just have worked just right here in this little swath of the fabric right there. So next one here is Christmas at Hawk Hollow, Carriage House Sampler. You've seen this 1,000 times. It's on 36 count truffle. Okay. Do you see that right there? The lettering. It is 2/1. The border, 2/1. So I was talking to my friend Melissa, and I said, oh, I'm getting kind of bored and I need to work on this. Here is where I'm at now. And the crazy thing is I literally I did the letters 1/2 and everything else 1/2, and I'm not switching it. Maybe just the block 1 is so special that it needed to be 2/2 on the words and the border. I mean, I'm going to do the border 2/2, but I'm not redoing the words. I'm not. And I think it's so beautiful. So I'm really excited. I did this last week, and this flower here is so cute because you did 4 stitches and then you did an elongated smear across over it. So beautiful. So I'm really excited. Again, my goal for this year is just to get 1 block completely stitched on it. So I've done, for February, I did 874 stitches. And for this month, I've done 0. And it is also on my Monopoly board. That is done. I follow Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter on YouTube here. And I allow her to deal with all the mess. And then I just follow. I'm an obedient student. I just follow whatever she does. And I had this curl the last time, so I think it's definitely, I cut my hair. Anyways. So the next one here is Emerald Mermaid. She got 105 stitches last month, and she hasn't got any. And again, she is Mira Monday. She is the 3rd Monday of the month. Now, if there's 4, I guess I'll figure out which one I want to do. But for now, she is Mira Monday, the 3rd Monday of the month. So I'm really trying to get this whole section here done. And I came over here to get her hand started so I could start working my way up to her head. This one here, I think, is going to be, I got to see, but I think she's actually going to be my Mira May, finger crossed, for a finish. So I need to get up to her head so I like to work top down. And I started this one in the middle because I wanted her to take up the whole pattern. I wanted her to take up this whole piece of Mercedes on a 28 count by Picture This Plus in all the called for colors. So I'm really excited. I really love her. But I started her in the middle. So I'm trying to work my way to her head so I can work my way down, because that's just the way I like to do things. But she, for right now, is the front runner for Mira May. Next one here is Enchanted Ornament Stocking, which is my stocking. I did 114 stitches on it in February, and I've done 402 stitches on this one in March. This is also a Monopoly color, or not a Monopoly colorway. This is a Monopoly piece. And here it is. So you can tell I worked here. I've worked in a lot of these like little blue half stitches, which are so darling as well. And then I'm just basically going across and picking up whatever symbol I didn't do before. I'm just picking it up and putting in the next stitch and just taking the thread wherever it goes. So right now I've done 402 stitches. And I'm actually caught up on it because normally that's the project I get really behind on. Oh my gosh. Okay, look. I finished the portfolio. It is so cute. So this pattern here is, I actually have to hold this up a little. I don't know why it's so, maybe I need to pull it down just a hair. There we go. So this portfolio, I would say if you need some kind of assistance, or like, not assistance, what's it called? like a pattern, I would definitely go with Tiger Lily designs. So I did this. Isn't this border cool? This is called a faux flange border. It's where you do, so how I did it, because I like a thinner border. I've made 2 of these. One with Melissa. Melissa showed hers on her YouTube channel. And it is the Diary of a Hyperactive Crafter. She's actually changing her name. So if you want to go over and help her change her channel name, that'd be fun. And then I also made one for Lisa by Cross by Floss. Her house is blue, Melissa's house is pink. Everything else is the same. The only other thing is Lisa got, the first time I tried to do this, and the tutorial I used did a 2.5-inch border, and I'm not a 2.5-inch border kind of fella. I like my borders to be nice and thin. Theirs looks perfect. Mine looks like garbage. Because if I'm gifting it, I will literally pull out the stitches to make them look nice. And mine, like, look, I'm Raggedy and Andy over here. Just looking janky as shit. I don't know. Anyway, I can't remember. And then this one's called Scissors Happening. And then Joann's is closing completely all of their old stores. I'm really sad about it. It's, you know, Joann's, everyone like says, oh, they got crap stuff. But here's the thing. When you live in a small town and there's nothing around, or there's a bunch of like farm looking fabrics, and like they bring in stuff that looks like it comes from a city. It's just kind of a bummer that it's gone. I mean, we have Hobby Lobby. I don't love them. So I don't really like particularly plan on shopping there. We are getting a Michael's, but they don't have fabric unless they have like pre-cut yardage, which I don't know anymore. I haven't been to Michael in a long time. This here is Faith by Faith 1839 by, I always forget this one because Sampler's Not Forgotten, because in the knitting world, there's something called, Farm. I don't remember. Anyways, it doesn't matter. This is on 40 count pewter by Picture This Plus, and all the called for colors, all the called for overdyes. I'm currently doing this every time Lisa, Cross by Floss, pulls up on her thing. We stitch it together because she has, she had a little start on it too, and I had a little start. So I said, oh, let's do it together. And that's just what we're doing. So this has not got any stitches on it this month. It did in February. I think it got like 273 stitches. Anyways, we have this robin. Oh my gosh, this robin's a crazy mess. That sits out on our porch. I don't know if you can hear it because he's out there now, or she's out there, but she's just chirping away. This one here is Hummingbird Lace by Chatelaine Designs. I have done 163 stitches on this one, 169 stitches on this one in February, and I have not worked on it in March. I'm actually thinking about taking this off the list and replacing it because I just can't get into it. I just can't. I want to get into it, but I just can't. And then I went in to just do some DMCs. I've done some specialty stitches, even though the pattern says do all the regular stitches before you go in and do anything. I primarily worked in this little like section here doing all those specialty. I did some specialty down here. I brought this over. I started the flower on here to get the 1/1 hummingbird in, which again I haven't started. And again, I'm thinking about replacing this because it's just that the way I'm currently in my life with stitching, I'm very erratic, and I work on like 4 to 5 projects. I mean, here's just a glimpse of February. Like some days I worked on 3 or 4 projects a day. And it's just really hard to like focus on that one when I have just so many things I'd like to try to do. Like on Sunday, the 16th, I worked on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 projects. Yeah, so I think I might remove it because it's just not where I am in my stitching life. That's just the general consensus, like I'm just not available for it. Next project, my friend Melissa, she's got this, oh my gosh, you need to go over and see it. She has this massive wheel. Oh my gosh, she's crazy. She's got this massive wheel, and she is doing basically like March Madness on it. And she got it from, I can't remember who she said, Stuart? Sheldon? I don't know, somebody did it on YouTube and she was watching it and then she's like, oh, I'm going to do it, but I don't really know how to like pick what I want to do. So she put all of her whips on this massive gaming board like March Madness, and she's picking. So anything that we started together, I want to try to put in 100, 200 stitches in. So she started. So this one here, she wanted to do a stamped kit, and she found a stamped kit from, I don't remember the name. I looked at them. They were kind of my style, but maybe not my style. And then I had this Dimensions kit. It's called Hydrangea Bloom. I thought it was cross stitching, and then I got it. I mean, this was prior to her. I got it, and it's actually needlepoint, and it's really freaking hard. So here I am. I have done about 200 stitches on it. Just all this black. And I'm doing the black and basket weave. I don't know if it's correct because the Dimensions kit just says do tent stitch or basket weave, whatever makes you happy, whatever floats your boat, whatever tickles the pickle. So I'm doing basket weave, and I just filled in more of the black. And I did, oh, I was like, where's my paper? Hydrangea Blooms. And again, it's an out of print. It's 194 is what I got. And I thought it was actually a cross-stitch banner because that's what they labeled it in the thing. And, you know, Joann's puts needlepoint on the very bottom of their main photo, and I didn't pay any attention. So it's life. Did I tell you it's Saturday? My watch is dead. It's Saturday. I don't know. Like 9 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning. My partner's currently down at the local university. He's a theater instructor, and he is doing their tech rehearsal today. So they're doing the lights. So that's super fun. Next project is Mary Amelia Birds by Quaint Rose Needle Arts. I did 432 stitches on it last month, and I have not touched it at all this month. This is on 32 count vintage country mocha Lugana. And I am doing all the background flowers 1/2, and I'm doing the bird 2/2, just to give like the background just a hair bit of a difference. So it's super cute. This here is Matter in Hand by Jeanette Douglas. This is on 40 count platinum by Swag Art. I am doing this with Pam and Jamie. I will link them both down below. They both have YouTubes. Jamie just did one on, well, I guess it's now been almost 2 weeks now, or maybe a week and a half. And she's trying to get this done by StitchCon too. So I texted Miss Pammy and I said, Miss Pam, get your life together. We got to have all this done together so we can sit there and take a photo. Anyways, so I've completely done this. These were my January and February plans. And I think how I got so behind and not going to get this done by May is because we started this July, August, September, October, November, December. Nope, January, February, March, April, May, June. I don't know how I got behind, but I got behind. Anyways, it's fine. I'm doing it in all the called for colors other than the purple. I added the purple there, and then there's like 2 or 3 spools on this side here, and I'm going to just do 1 or 2 of the spools in purple to make it make sense, to make it all kind of go back, connect the purples. Because I didn't really like the pink. She wanted to do it in like a dark red, and I wasn't really that much of a fan of it. So anyways, that's it. And I dyed this just very, very lightly in the pearl gray red. I did like 2 or 3 drops in a cup, and then I put it in and I set it outside and just let it marinate. I haven't done any stitches on this month. Last month I did 1,172 stitches. My next one is Mystic Garden. I am loving this project. Mystic Garden is 926 last month. I have done thus far on Mystic Garden 230 stitches. I was at a roadblock with this, and I think it's because I was doing the green on Peacock, Unicorn, and Badger, and then I was doing green on this project, and I was just like, I am done with green. I just can't do another stitch in green. Even though this one is super fun with the green because it has all the like added, oh, I don't have the score note. Oh, shoot. Okay, well, I'll worry about that in a minute. Oh my my gosh, the dogs are so darling. They're so cute. They're both so darling. Winston's passed out whimpering. And Finland's over there looking at me like she's asleep. This is Mystic Garden. This is on 28 count or 27 count. Black Quaker cloth. It was a kit done in the 90s. And it's done however she told me to do it with the threads that she sent over. I wish they still made. I don't know if they make Super Twist, the shiny material that's in this, but I love it. I would buy it over Kreinik and Petite Treasure Braid. It is so beautiful. So anyways, I got really bored. I got super bored with doing the green. So then I said, I'm just going to start part 2. Because I couldn't go to a different part in part 1 because it's all green other than this gold, like hoopy thing. So anyways, I started on part 2. And I did this cross here. There are elongated crosses here. And then you put a smear in it. And then I did the top of the flower. And then I started doing those fun things. Those are actually elongated, or she calls them something else other than satin, but they're basically satin stitches. And then the shiny material is actually a Smyrna cross. It is so cool. Oh my gosh, I'm loving it. And I love that, just a little difference between the dark metallic part versus the over-dyed. It's just so smart. And gosh, if she is still designing, I would buy everything from her. I would buy everything. I put her on. I was reading reading's fundamental, but apparently not in my life. But I was reading the directions, and she said, and I think it might have just been that, at the time, that's when scroll rods were, popular. So I decided to put on a scroll rod. It's very loose, and it's fine. I think it's actually pretty good for this project because there's a lot of, straight stitches and not a lot of cross stitches, but yeah, oh my gosh, I love her. And I don't add any tension. I just kind of do with what I got. This is an Arabesque frame. Back to your regularly scheduled program. Next one is Nightingale. I haven't done anything on her, and I think I've done the 131 stitches on Nightingale. She should probably be my Mirror May. I would wonder. Oh my goodness. Woo. You kind of wonder. Next one is Nightingale. She should, by Mirabilia. She probably should be my Mirror May because she's the least furthest along. She's in 32 count Confer by Picture This Plus Lugana. I'm doing her in all the called for colors, threads, beads, overdyed. She uses, I think, has one Kreinik. Maybe she has 2 Kreiniks. I don't remember. She has a few Kreiniks, and she has one overdyed by Karen. And it's beautiful as well. Kind of reminds me of our kitchen. It's Inkwell. And we started No Time Like the Present by Modern Folk Embroidery at StitchCon in 2024. And then I worked on it a little bit, and then she was like, oh, she's doing that bracket, and I was like, oh, just let me know when anything comes up that we've done together, and blah, blah, blah. She sent me the bracket, so I'm kind of just keep track of myself. And we started No Time Like the Present. She's doing hers all in Roxy Flossco threads and a Bee Stitch Me fabric, and it's really pretty. It's like purple and grays. And then her threads hot pink. And I am doing it in No Time Like the Present, Modern Folk Embroidery, 18 count Barnwood, Ada by Picture This Plus. I'm doing it 1/1. I'm doing it in, this is a story about my grandma. Oh God, I love her. She used to have the creepiest looking clock. Oh my gosh, when we were growing up. It had this huge stag on it and some leafy, oh gosh, I can't even say it. Some leaf stuff, and it had a deer head, and it had these little people. My aunt was stationed in Germany for a while in the army, and my grandma went over there when she had a few times, and then when she had my cousin, and she bought this clock. And this kind of reminds me of the clock. I'm not really, it doesn't like, I don't have a picture of it. I looked for it when I was editing the last 2 videos. And anyways, so it is there's 2 colors. One, I don't remember the green. I think it's spinach maybe. And they're both Gast. So Gentle Arts. And it's sampler threads. One is mustard seed. And the reason why I chose mustard seed is because my grandma, 10 years ago, at the end of this month, we had started renting our first home that Vic and I have had. And she came over. We moved out middle of January, and by the end of March, well, it's probably actually the middle of March, we had it all ready to go. And anyways, she's Catholic. We already talked about that. And she had done, the priest had talked about, or I don't know what they are. Priest? Maybe, I don't know what they are. But anyways, had talked about the strength of a mustard seed. And my grandma, every time she came to help, she would just continue to tell us about this mustard seed and how if we just had the strength of one mustard seed, we can do anything. And that's what got us through. And she was obsessed with Ed Sheeran, which is so funny because my grandma's like a folk art kind of music connoisseur. So the mustard seed and Ed Sheeran that's what that time reminds me of. But anyway, so I did it in mustard seed, the yellow, and then the green is, I have her peonies out back, and I took it and just matched the leaf. So it's basically like a little, and you can't really see it. Oh, there you kind of can. It's definitely a little, I'm hoping when I get more in that it'll be more pronounced. I am doing it 1/1 on 18 count. And I'm hoping once I get more into it, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. I don't know. If not, I've done so much. Anyway, so this month I have done 278 stitches. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. But anyways, that's the story. And I just thought the barnwood looked really pretty, like would match what I remember her clock looking like. That's it. Oh, put a bird on it. So this one also is a modern folk embroidery with a stitch along by EJ and Sheila. Well, it's EJ, and then Sheila is participating in it on the, I cannot remember their channel. I'll link it down below. But they did not a Marilyn Manning. They did anyways, Bake Me a Quaker Sal last year. I didn't do it. I wasn't that interested in it. Kara Kluba, Rosewood Manor. And then this year they chose to put a bird on it. So I was like, oh, I love that pattern. And it was just released. And I was like, I had picked it up and I was like, oh, I really want to do this. And then they said it on one of their videos that they were going to do a Sal, a 13-month Sal. So I'm like, oh, perfect. I'll get on board with you. So I am doing this in Rwanda, hand dyed by Rwanda in Canada. They're all one-off. So the fabric is 18 count, 1/1. And the thread is also a unique dye for her. And I'm just kind of staying in the snap and just kind of stitching wherever I want. So I've done this for last month. I did this. No, I didn't. I did this, some of this, this here in the center. This month I'm finishing this. I've done this, and I've done mostly this. And I still need to get a few hundred more stitches. Last month on Put a Bird on It, I did 996 stitches. This month so far, I've done 527 stitches on an 18 count 1/1. It's really darling, and I'm really excited. And I'm still looking for the green. I have a few choices. I'm going to narrow them down and maybe put it up for an opinion once I get to that point. My next one is Queen of Freedom by Mirabilia. She's an out-of-print chart. It's so interesting. I was looking on Pinterest the other day. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. I was looking on Pinterest the other day, and I didn't realize that Pinterest had full pattern, like full blown, like you could go there and stitch right off the patterns they had there. They were from they were in Russian or something. I don't know what they were in. But then Pinterest actually did something good. They took down the websites. So you're not allowed to use them anymore, which is great to protect artisans, to make sure that they're getting the money, but also the fact that this is out of print and it's so sought after, it's kind of a shame. But anyways, this is on We the People, 32 count, and all the called for threads. And you know, by the time I'm done with this, I don't even know if we're going to be free. Okay, let me go pick that up. That was very extra. And sometimes that's just the way I am. 32 count We the People. On linen, 2/2 by Fabric Flare. I'm using all the called for threads and whatever, Kreinik. This Kreinik was actually very hard to source. I found it on, I don't remember, I put it in a video before. But because it's at like, I don't know what it's called, it was pretty difficult to find. My next one, oh my gosh. This is Remember Me. This one is a bear. So it had rained 10 times last month, 10 times alone. And I did 894 stitches. And by the time I was done, it carried over. I had to do 100 and... Let's see, where am I at? I had 894 stitches on Remember Me. It rained 10 times. So that means I had 106 stitches that carried over this month. And so far, I have done... This one's like a perpetual, like I'm always behind. I've done 197 stitches on this one. This one's Remember Me by Teresa Kogut on 40 count peony by Fiber on a Whim. I am doing 1/1. And you know, the thing is I went and bought all these freaking threads and I've lost them again. I have two threads that are missing. Oh, this looks really pretty, actually. I'm missing whatever thread goes in that one in this hole here. There's like holes there that are missing. And then I have another one that needs to be done to make this vine go somewhere. I don't know. Anyways, I love this one. I owe it 190 stitches still. So that means it's rained, what, 3 times already this month. And then yesterday it rained and snowed. Oh, gosh, I hate those days. Actually, it rained and sleet. We had these huge hail balls. Not sleet, hail. Huge hail balls. Next one here is Santa's Journey Stocking by Dimension. I have done 266 stitches this month so far. And last month I did 345. And I owe it for Monopoly. Oh, I also owe Ann Thomas. I had 1,200 stitches to stitch on Ann Thomas for Monopoly. So I owe it 800 stitches this month. I done 4. So I technically owe it like, I don't know what I owe it. It doesn't matter. But I have less than 800 stitches left to go on it to complete the Monopoly challenge. Santa's Stocking, 266 this month. 300, whatever I told you. 345. I still owe it 400 stitches for Monopoly. I am doing it with all the kit thing. I think it's on 18 count. And basically all I did is I did this one here. There's a lot of half cross because I'm in the sky, and that's kind of like what Dimensions does with sky. So it's half cross over 2, like 2/1 tent, or it's actually half cross because I didn't do it the tent style, which I probably should, being that this is so dense. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm doing it half cross, and I count 2 half crosses as 1 stitch because that's what Jen does. So I'm trying to follow the rules, people. I'm on the struggle bus. I don't know. Pray for me. Anyway, so it's on white. It's all the called for stuff. It's my partner's. Whenever it gets done, it gets done. That's the super fun part about it all. Last month, this is Santa Stops Here. Last month, it looks like it snowed 3 times. Nope, can't be. That's a lie. I think it snowed 5 times, and I was in a deficit of like 100 and something. And then it's already snowed 3 times this month. So last month I did 309 stitches. This month I've done 162 stitches, and I'm still not caught up from last month, and I haven't done any of the stitching for this month. But here I am. So on this one's on 36 count Duxbury by Fox and Rabbit. I'm doing it 1/2. 1/2 on 36. Using all the called for colors. And I currently have there's single stitches that kind of go like a zigzag. So I did all of those. It's an Oscar. I came on the border, and I'm now doing it on a diagonal to get it really popping and moving along here. I did the tree last month. That's where my whole focus was, in the tree. And I've done some more of this. You probably can't even see the grass because it's so like light. But I worked more on, the snow on the bottom. And that's it. And I'm really excited. I gotta get moving on it still. But I'm just kind of always perpetually behind on those things, and I'm not really sure why. Next one is the new normal. Last month I did 485 stitches. This month I've done 139. Melissa actually has to do this one, and her next lineup is this one, and it's another one we started together. I can't remember what it is. So I'll be doing 100 plus stitches on this one. This one's in the Bronzed Age colorway from Live and Die LA on 40 count, 1/2. And in the True color way on their 50-yard DMC floss base. And I'm currently just doing it with two 10 blocks widths across the project, and then I'll start back here and go 10, I'm right now at 80. So when I'll do 80, 90 to 100, and I'll do those all the way across. But yeah, isn't this really just so darling? It's so cute. So I've done this bubble here, and I'm working my way over here. This one's still kind of in a little bit of I'm on the struggle bus with it. I'm not sure why, because when I first got it, I was like, slam bam, thank you, ma'am. I had time to do it all. Don't even worry about me. Anyway, so I gotta get back to this. I want to get it still finished by October, November. That's likely not going to happen now that I have not worked on it, and I haven't done my 3,000 stitches last month, and I haven't done my 3,000 whatever stitches this month. Isn't this mug so cute? We got this mug in Yellow Springs, Ohio. There's a festival called Wool Gathering that happens, I don't know, in September. I actually don't know. When does it? No, August? Doesn't matter. They have it every year. It's one weekend. It's a yarn festival. And they bring in like different artisans. And she was a mug. There was a mug lady there that was vending. So this is the plantation sampler. I haven't worked on it this month, and I've done 551 stitches for February. This is also and I need to cut this fabric because I am now at the bottom. This is on 40 count Mallow undyed by Zwagart. It's the one where I always say the one thread is cream and the top thread or whatever, one of the threads is like a rustico looking thread. So it gives it the kind of rusticy look of all this. This is in all the called for colors. I've now officially made it to the bottom here. I am going to now start doing one thread of green every time I am stitching on this, because I looked at it the other night and I knew there was a pasture of like a large amount of grass, but woo-wee. So yeah, so it's at the bottom here. I'm finally at the bottom, and then I'm just gonna do a patch of grass, a thread of grass every time I pick it up. Because if not, or every other, depending on how many stitches I have to do on it, I'll probably do a thread every other time or something. So that's that. Next one here is another one that I started with my friend Melissa. Oh, there's DMC in here. I cut a few to start the project. This is on 32 count, 1/1. on pre-gridded Zwagart fabric. This fabric is weird. I think I bought it from 123 Stitch, and I think it got wet because the lines in Zwagart, especially, the thread is the gridded is actually done with a gray thread. So it's just really bizarre. Vintage Cantare Mocha. So I decided I was going to stitch this. This is Move Forward Love. I have 137 stitches. I actually have more on this. Did I? Oh, I did 111. So I did 137 and I had to rip out 69 of them, and then I did 111 because I started it on Vintage Country Mocha, which is this fabric here. And I was like, oh, I don't really love it, and it didn't really make any sense. And I'm like, well, kind of like there's a lot of issues with, oh gosh, it's just a really dark time for gays and lesbians and the trans and non-binary people in America. And so I decided I'm going to make it kind of like a smoky, darkish fabric. And the thing I love about it is you can actually still see the Vintage Country Mocha streaks. So it makes it really interesting. So if you're ever afraid to wash your piece because you're afraid to get rid of the Vintage Country Mocha streaks, it doesn't. This here, I did a half a cup. I did 2 cups of water, whatever, like a teaspoon of salt, and then I used a half a cup of pearl gray. And what I did was I pre-wet this fabric. I took out the stitching and I pre-wet it, and I put my finger in the center of it, and I just wrapped the fabric around the center of my finger. And then I took it basically looked like a rosette. I picked it up, put it in the water, and submerged it. And when it's interesting because I've never had this happen before though. It stood in there, I don't know, maybe 2-3 minutes, and then it rose to the top, like as if it was like, I'm done absorbing any of your nonsense, so take me out. It was very, I've never had that happen with a fabric before. But anyway, so it just rose to the top, and I took it out, and here it is. So I'm using Aiden's Rainbow by Gloriana. It is so cute. The interesting thing is, well, actually, I'm going to talk, I shouldn't talk about this one yet. It doesn't matter. My friend and I, Melissa, and my partner, we all traveled. Well, me and my partner traveled to Mystic Fabric. My friend Melissa traveled also to meet us at Mystic Fabric. It took us 3 hours. And I don't know if I would have ever... I thought it was 2. For some reason, I don't know why I thought it was 2. But then when we put it in that morning, it was 2 hours and like 56 minutes. And you all know, traveling, you got to get gas, and you got to go to the toilet, and you got to get breakfast, and you got to get blah, blah, blah. Anyways, it took us 3 hours plus to get there, but it was fun. It was in Rushville, Indiana. Anyway, so I bought this here. I've always wanted to get it off of 123 Stitch, and I just never have. It's called Aiden's Rainbow by Gloriana Silk. The interesting fact was her Glorianas were for 4 yards instead of 6. So yeah, so it was really darling. It was a really darling shop. She was darling. Her helper was darling that does her marketing. They were both really nice. And I met her one time. I actually have a piece of her fabric that's... Actually, you know what? Maybe that's what... Sorry, I'm having a moment. I was thinking. Maybe... Because I have this scrap piece of fabric on... it's 18 count, I think, or 16 count. And I did the Eclipse Sal that me and Melissa started. And I'm wondering if that's the piece she gave me at StitchCon. Because she gave me a piece in the late night room at StitchCon. But I thought that piece was really small, like 1/8 of a yard. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'll talk about what else I bought there. Last project. Well, actually, there'll be 2 more. This one and another one. So this is what remains. I did 459 stitches last month. And I did 129 stitches this month. This is also Monopoly. This is on 32 count. Oh my goodness. 32 count. Let me get my life together. Okay. Reset. 32 count straw by Weeks Dye Works. 32 count on the Zwagart base. I do not like Weeks that are not on. I don't like Weeks anyways. Like they're fat. I like the colors. It's just you can't never know if you're getting the the old base or the new base. I love their like style of dyeing. I just think it's really nice and pretty. But like, I just hate buying it if you don't know if you're getting the original, because I hate the original. It's like you're putting your needle into a canyon and it just gets lost. And it never, once you poke it through, if you're not a two-handed stitcher, it doesn't sit in the hole nicely, no matter if you use a big needle or not. It just flops right through like it's a loose hole. I don't know what's going on. But anyways, here this is. I have done 500 plus stitches. I'm getting this back into also the corner again. So I'm doing the diagonals. And I've done the smear crosses on the things. And then I've also done the satin stitches. I do my satin stitches a little bit different. I go one thread over. So I do all of that in one thread, and then I come back and do it with the second thread. And then sometimes I'll even do, instead of doing them up and down like this, sometimes I will do a diagonal one if it just doesn't fill in. I didn't do it on, nope, I didn't do it on that one. I should have done it there, but I didn't. But yeah, so I did a bunch of stitches. It's back on the diagonal. Something is not right in this thing. I don't know. The counting's mistaken. And then this border, if you're doing this, there is one part of this border where just it moves one stitch. It changes a stitch somewhere. And like, see, this one's so much longer than the other ones. And then there's another one where I'm like, oh, I didn't do that right. I didn't count. I didn't pay attention. God loves me. But yeah, so I started on the house. And again, I just take the thread wherever it takes me. I started on the yellow house. I've done the full, started doing the pot there. The bird's done. Yeah, so I'm just kind of moving my way around till I get this finished. I'm back in love with this. I wasn't in love with it at first. And I think it's just sometimes, you know how you get in it and you're like, oh, I don't know if I love the way the stitches look. I don't know if I love the threads. But I love it. And then also, this is interesting too. So this is her mountain mist, this bird right here on top of the flower pot, on top of the flowers. Me and Jamie, I was saying online, I'm like, oh, I'm going to start every opening flower with the Vicki Clayton silks on a Axis Commodities fabric called I don't know what. Anyways, so I got the Vicki Claytons. She had the Vicki Claytons. We started it together. And the Vicki Clayton on that one, Mountain Mist, is the blue with the yellow, but it's a really light blue instead of the darker blue. So once I'm done with this and figure out where all my Mountain Mist goes, I might put the Mountain Mist from here to over there. We'll see. And then I have a finish. And I don't know where the finish went. Oh, and this bag here is I bought this from my friend Pam, the one I'm doing the whatchamacallit style from. This is a Teresa Kogut fabric. Oh my gosh, there is so much Winston hair on it. She's a 3D printer. She has a 3D printer, so she uses these little tags. It's so fun. She does the quilting. She hasn't put any up recently, but maybe. Life's kind of crazy, I bet. But yeah, so I love this. It's super cute. So now let's go. Oh, let's put this over here. I don't know where. I have a finish. I have a fully finished. Maybe I'll put it in at the end because I don't know where it went. If you know, you know. Like you would have seen. I don't have some of my things here. So we went to Mystic Fabric again. Me and Melissa shopped there for a few hours, and then we went to this Mexican joint they recommended. Like, it's a very small town. There was like pizza or Mexican. That was it, or fast food. And there was a pub, which we didn't go to. We went to the Mexican joint. Then we went to this place called Moose, and all they kept talking about was coffee throughout the day, and they closed at 2 on their website. So it was very strange. Or closed at 3. I don't know when it closed. It closed at some point. So when we go places, we like to pick up a project. And again, she is blowing this. I am the worst Sal partner. I am. I'm just terrible. Like, I'll start it, but I won't. Melissa's blazing. I mean, she's blazing through it. She's doing chili. I'm doing, oh, this is the one. She is doing, her next bracket is the new normal versus she's doing chili, which is an animal cracker by Stacey Nash. So I'm going to do the new normal, and I'm going to do my animal cracker, which is so cute. It's called Blizzard. This is on 40 count. Bramble by Picture This Plus. I'm doing it 1/2. And all the called for other than the other than the sweater. This is Blizzard. We thought he was a cat, but he's actually, what on the website, she says he's a white fox. So Blizzard's a white fox. He's darling. I did this outline thing again, which I think I really love. So now I know just put the thread in there and you're done. Melissa's got hers almost done. So I need to get my life together. I need to get my life together. Again, I'm a terrible. Oh, and then this here is a princess hoop. I bought it off of eBay a while ago. It's nice. I like it actually. It's a nice hoop to stitch in. But yeah. And anyway, so here it is. Here he is. He's darling. And I am doing the changes I'm making as he is, so his scarf is red and his sweater is a teal, and I'm doing it slightly different. This is the teal for his sweater. So this is the teal for his sweater. I am doing that as the scarf and the boots. So scarf, boots, possibly. And I might make this little needle book too, because it's super darling. So maybe even that cup. And then I'll have to find a red in my stash for the thingy-mabob, the candy cane. But I am doing his sweater in cantaloupe. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I just didn't love the look. Like I didn't love the red with the teal. So I said, oh, I'm going to change it all up. And I love hot coral. So I'm going to do cantaloupe for the sweater, seafoam, which is the called for the sweater, as the scarf and the boots. So it's super darling. This isn't my stitching spot. My stitching spot's there, but I brought my stitching table over. And I wanted to show you one of the table gifts that I made for StitchCon 2024. Gosh, this is really nasty. Oh, goodness gracious. It's trashy. I made this. I got this pattern off of eBay. No, sorry, Etsy. And I made our table mates. I made every table mate one of these. And I did it 2 days before I left. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. So I bought a jelly roll, and this is just paper you do on paper. You sew it onto the paper, so it makes it super easy. I was so tired, I forgot that this was supposed to be a 1/4 of an inch, not an 1/8 of an inch. So that's why it looks so crazy there, because it was supposed to be a 1/4, and I stitched an 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. This here is stuffed with walnut shells. There's supposed to, I believe, also like a button, but I ran out of time. And I'm pretty sure I gave the people the button, and if not, well, they can find a button. But it's supposed to have a button to like do the fluff, because it told you like leave it a little bit, leave the walnut shells loose, so when you put in that button, it really fills it out. So I didn't fill them up all the way because I was going to do that button, and again, I didn't do it. And the interesting fact is this is how I wanted it to look. But when people started picking it out, they picked, like this was supposed to be blue because of this. They picked the white, and this is blue, and that wasn't what I wanted, but that's okay. And then, so these are all batiks from Joann's. This is a jelly roll from Joann's. Oh, I'm so sad that Joann's leaving. This was from Joann. Everything was from Joann's, actually. But yeah, this was my table gift for 2024 at StitchCon. And I leave it, it's just my stitching here, and I have one out by my quilting. Okay, so my fat butt was sitting on it. Okay, so this is the magazine it came out of, just cross stitching, February 2022. It is right here. Again, I thought this was Biscornu done by Tiny Modern. It wasn't. But whatever. If you want this pattern, let me know. I'll cut it out of this magazine and ship it, like just in an envelope with a stamp. I can't go to the post office. I just can't. Finished it. Other than the bead, the button. I thought I had a button, and I don't have 2 buttons that match. But here it is. Oh my gosh, isn't it so cute? This was done 1/1 on 40 count, affogato, fiber on a whim, and I did my own colors. And if you want to do this cardinal, if you want to do any cardinal and that pink there, that is called Pink Sandcastle or Pink Sand by Weeks Dye Works. Oh, it is so glorious. It is so pretty. Oh my goodness. It is so just, it just tickles me pink. Everything else I did, so Sandcastle, Ladybug, Piney Woods is the green, Roasted Fig is the brown. I just used 3865. Lancaster Red for the dark part of the card. Well, it shows better on this one. The dark part of that cardinal. The black is, I don't remember. I want to say it's roasted coffee or something. Espresso bead. And the nose is, I don't remember, it's yellow. But you can definitely pick your own colors. Like, you can make these bluebirds. But there's 10 pennies in here because I couldn't find my, I still can't find it. That's why I have another pillow that I'll show you here in just a second. That's not done. But once it gets the button, it'll definitely be filled out quite nicely. So it's on 40 count. My first Biscornu. My next thing I'm doing, I'm doing what I'm calling temperature stitching madness. So I am taking the bracket system, similar, but I'm putting all my 2021 projects that I'm currently actively working on this year and putting them up against each other. So week 1, which I tried to get this video out before, and it just wasn't happening. So week 1, I did, nope. I'll put a picture here. Week 1, I did, it was Noel versus Christmas Rose. And I have stitched. So Noel, let's talk about Noel. Last month, I did 865 stitches on Noel. This month, I've done 805 stitches. This got called for four stitching sessions out of the 7. So it got called for on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Because Christmas Rose got on the 1st, 6th, and 7th. So here's this. This is where I'm at now with this. I kept counting wrong here. I finally got the count right, and then I counted wrong in the body again. And I'm like, okay, maybe this bird, this dove, which is so beautiful, is cursed. So let me count over here. So then I started working over here and realized I was 1 stitch off. And so the reason why this one did not win is because of purely counting error. I couldn't get it counted right. It just wasn't working. Yeah, and I backstitched the bird here, and I backstitched the end. This was prior to this time. But yeah, so it's really darling. So I started over here. I've done the whole wing. I've done the head. I've started some of the chimneys. I've started some of the green stuff in the mouth. And then I just came over and started on the L. Next one, I did Christmas Rose. Christmas Rose this month, I did 923 stitches. Last month, I did 1,006 stitches. And I'm hoping that this one will be a finish. I actually recharted this on Excel to see how many stitches I had left. And I think I have about 1,500 left on it. It is on 28 count. Dense Fog by Winchell Fabrics. I still hate it, but I'm there. We are in the home stretch, folks. So I can't put a picture. I don't know if it'll even work. Maybe I'll just put a picture, like cut the video and put the picture there. Maybe that'll work and not try to overlay it. I don't know. Anyways, I'm here. This is on 28 count. I'm doing it 2/2 on Dense Fog by Winchell Fabrics. It's one of those ones that come in the pre. I think that robin is back. I think it likes to attack our door. Anyway, so here's this. I love this. This is so cute. So I recharted it. It's supposed to, like, she did it for her grandmother or something. I recharted it to say love. I did a 4-sided stitch. That's probably the reason why this one. The next one is Sarah Barker. It is by Needlework Press. And it is on 18 count. Fiber on a Whim. I'm going to write it down one of these times. I think it's Milk and Honey or Milk and Sugar. But here it is. It's 18 count, 1/1 in the dinky dies. And I'm doing it on all the called for. And I'm about 70 stitches away from the bottom. So I'm hoping maybe I can work on that. I don't know. But I'm hoping Christmas Rose wins, because I really want to work on Christmas Rose. So whoever wins out of these two next week will go against Hipster Lamb. Hipster Lamb is done on a mystery 28 count Lugana 2/2 on all the called for. This is no longer available on Etsy, so I don't know what happened with her. It's on a 32 count, sorry, not a 28 count mystery. And then whatever one wins out of those two, the Hipster Lamb, then I'm going to do, oh, I love this one. My Christmas List by, oh, hello, looky, here's the Winnie boy. Oh, here's my Winnie boy, I love him. He also gets very scared of noises. He's definitely a COVID baby. Okay. So I am doing My Christmas List by Silver Creek Samplers, I think is the name of it. And it is on 32 count vintage country mocha. I am doing this 1/1, stitching it this way and down from the bottom because I have it started 2/2 at the top. And I don't love... This is when I discovered I'm not a 2/2 stitcher, and I thought this looked sloppy, but now that I look at it, it is like really nice. So anyway, so this will be the last one. And again, I'm doing March 1st to the 7th, 8th through the 14th, 15th through the 21st, 22nd to the 28th. I am so excited to be back. Hopefully this video works. If not, I'm going to cry and I'm quitting. Because I can't do another video if it doesn't work. But anyway, so thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions, concerns, please leave me an email, comment down below. Again, thanks so much for watching. So toss that floss and let's stitch happens. Bye!